All right, how's it going, everyone? It's Nick Atkin here with Sportskeeda MMA ahead of ONE 167, Bangkok, Thailand, coming up. Huge show. I'm with my guy, Kade Ruotolo, ahead of his MMA debut. It's happening. It's finally here.
Finally here, yeah.
Excited?
So beyond excited, beyond excited. The moment, like you said, the moment's finally here. You know, long time coming for sure.
Yeah, you were talking about it a lot last year and this year, and I thought, maybe we won't see it till 2025. Were you expecting it to happen so soon?
Yeah, the talks were there. You know, it was the main struggle. Honestly, was the camp and having the head coaches. You know, my will was there to do it, but we just didn't have a full team behind me. You know, that's changed. Obviously, I got probably the best cornermen I could possibly ask for, and very blessed. Yeah.
Yeah, talk me through the team and the operation, the setup. I know you just said it over there on another interview, so
Easy.
sorry, but yeah.
No, easy. Yeah, so here with Eric Paulson, an absolute legend, and as well as he's waving over there, as well as Tyler Wombles, another absolute legend. You know, like I said, I don't think I could have asked for a better cornerman. You know, Tyler is a real technician with the striking, and as well as Coach Eric, but especially with the connecting that into jiu-jitsu and wrestling. You know, also got my brother in my corner, Ty. You know, so I think that's why I'm feeling so confident.
Yeah, where is Ty? Can't see him.
Who even knows? He's probably out in the river somewhere.
All right. Well, yeah, I was talking to a friend last night actually about this fight, and we were wondering, what are you going to do? Are you just going to jump on this guy's back? Blake Cooper, by the way, we'll get into him in a bit, or are we going to see you strike? You know, I don't think you want to give away everything, but are you just going to rely on what got you to the dance?
Right. So that's kind of been the bit of the question there. Yeah. You know, obviously, you know, part of me wants to go out there and just scrap. You know, I love fighting, and the inner dog in me just wants to go out there and fight. At the same time, you know, my coaches, my brothers, you know, making sure to remember, you know, you're Kade Ruotolo for your jiu-jitsu, right? So I think I'm going to try my best to just merge the two worlds. You know, I've been loving striking. I've been loving my progression. You know, I've been super happy with it. And I want to do a good job of showing both my striking, showing that I'm not just a jiu-jitsu guy, but also the second that window's there to take him down and submit him, I'll do so.
Yeah, we've seen some of the guys cross sports, and, you know, I've seen Mikey messing around in the gym, but I feel like you are a natural athlete, you and your brother. You seem to be so good at anything you try sports-wise. Has that helped you, you know, given everything? You don't have to really make too huge of a switch here. It seems like you've got that ability just inside you already.
Thank you for starters. I appreciate that, my hype man right here. But in the most humble way possible. Yeah, my brother and I are pretty gifted, unless it's a ball sport.
Yes.
Or for whatever reason, we're just the worst at ball sports. But you know, I've been loving like I said, loving my progression. I've been super happy with it, and you know, really only training like the past two months hard. You know, aside from that, you know, the past year I was probably training MMA like once a week or twice a week. You know, so in the past 2 months, I've just felt my game and my overall, just as an athlete, I've just skyrocketed, you know, and I'm super confident and excited.
And do you feel your jiu-jitsu's at a level now you can sort of park it and you don't need to really work on it every day constantly, and you can more focus on this now going forward?
Yeah, so a bit, but not ever completely stray away. You know, it's easy to get rusty, right? So, you know, I think that's one thing I've seen a lot. You know, jiu-jitsu guys, while stepping into the MMA, they kind of I feel like they fully forget about their jiu-jitsu, and, you know, they're only focused on the wrestling and the striking and things like that. And you see their jiu-jitsu almost starts rusting over time, and you start seeing them making mistakes, simple mistakes in the jiu-jitsu game. So with that being said, I want to do a good job of making sure my jiu-jitsu stays sharp, and so is the other part of my games as well.
All right, talk us through the opponent, Blake Cooper. I'm not going to lie, I was surprised when they announced he was your opponent, because I thought you might take someone, you know, a little, like, not a layup, but he's a tough guy, you know, like he comes from a good family. We know what his brother's done in PFL. Right. Was that something you weren't interested in having a complete gimme? You wanted a test?
No, for sure. You know, I'm a very mentally strong person, you know, so in the most humble way possible, you know, I'm already thinking, you know, I'm always thinking for the highest hopes, you know, or the highest competition. You know, Blake Cooper, he's definitely no slouch. You know, he's got some knockout power in his hands. All the Coopers do, right? Comes from a legend fighting family. Also fighting out of Hawaii, you know, which is a super cool. It's a tight-knit community over there, so I got a lot of respect for that. You know, it's been all good vibes, but, you know, obviously when we lock in the circle, it's going to be bit of the opposite.
Yeah, how much have you watched his fight? I think he fought Mauricio Bevy. He lost via TKO or knockout. Have you been studying that? What have you picked up from it?
Yep. I watched that last matchup. The biggest takeaway, I know he's got some grenades in those hands. He wobbled, was it Maurice, right, in that first round, and anyone that has a big overhand and a big hook, you got to watch out for that knockout power, right? As well as he's been wrestling the majority of his life, so he's got great wrestling and wrestling defense as well. On paper, kind of a difficult matchup for a jiu-jitsu guy, but I'm here to show that I'm not just a jiu-jitsu guy.
Well, you do have a jiu-jitsu match booked as well in September. Is that difficult knowing you've got that down in the pipeline? Because, maybe if you pick up an injury here, that fight could be off, or do you have to hold something back? What's your mindset going into this with that looming over you?
I'm the type of guy that's always just, whatever's in front of me, one step at a time, Try to book as many things as possible and just not think about it until it's time to really prepare for it, there's always a possibility. There's a possibility I roll my ankle walking out to my fight. You know what I mean? Anything could happen. But, like I said, I just like to, just focus on what's in the near future, the task at hand, and then, go from there.
Yeah, and Mikey, wow, coming up, I don't know how many weight classes there's. The flyweight champion coming up to you at lightweight. You got to respect that, right?
Absolutely, yeah, for sure. I've been saying in all the interviews, I promise you guys I didn't call him out. It was offered to me, and I've never declined a matchup in my life. So I'm here just to, I love my job, I love what I do. So I'm here just to put on shows, and if you guys want to see, the Mikey match, I'll do it. Whatever matchup you guys want, I'm there for.
And that is a bit further down the road, but it's cool, isn't it? The Denver Nuggets Stadium, the Ball Arena. You and Mikey, home soil. How cool is that going to be?
Oh, it's so epic. I've been so excited for ONE to come back to U.S. territory. That last show in Denver was amazing, and I know this venue is even bigger. I'm sure that the crowd's going to be, just the atmosphere will be insane. So I'm definitely chomping at the bit and excited to get back on the home turf.
Yeah, and here as well. You've been used to Lumpini Stadium, but we're going to Impact Arena. It's going to be big there, right? 12,000 plus, I think. Sold out as of yesterday, I'm told. Excited?
Beyond excited. I love feeding off the crowd's energy. It's always fired me up. I think there's two types of competitors: the guys that kind of feel the pressure of the crowd and the lights and things like that, and guys that kind of live off of it. And I believe I'm the second one. I always use that energy and use that to fuel me.
All right, I don't want to push you too hard for a prediction, but what we're going to see on Saturday morning.
Saturday morning.
Friday night in the U.S. primetime.
To be entirely honest with you, I don't think it makes it out the first round. But both of us have very forward styles, very aggressive people. Blake himself loves going linear, straight through, looking for knockouts, and myself, I don't want to take too much or give too much out there. But you guys know my jiu-jitsu style and my MMA style. I think is going to be semi-similar. So. It's going to be, I don't see it coming out of the first round, and obviously I believe it'll be me getting the finish. Yeah.
I can't wait to see it. I forgot to ask you this as well. I saw you chopped it up with Demetrius Johnson a little bit. Fun interview. How was that? Right. He's a legend, right? Oh,
absolute legend. Yeah. Shout out Mighty Mouse, man. He's the man. That was awesome. He came out to Costa Mesa. We were out there training at Tenori headquarters, and it was an amazing session. I learned so much from him just in that short amount of time. We did a little bit of everything. We were talking about no-gi. We put on the gi, started training gi jiu-jitsu. We put on the gloves, started working a bit of MMA. Kicked it pretty much for the most of the day. Thank you again. We did a little podcast even. It was an amazing day for sure. So shout out Mighty Mouse. I was so surprised at how cool of and down-to-earth of a guy he was. It's really refreshing when you see absolute legends that are also cool people. You know what I mean? It's not always like that. So yeah, shout out DJ for sure.
Yeah. And I'm sure that knowledge being transferred there was very valuable. Everything he's done in MMA, and I know he's trying to work on his jiu-jitsu, right? He's getting some titles in the masters categories and things.
So rad to see Demetrius putting on the gi and fighting giants. I mean, dude, I had my jaw dropped. You know what I mean? It was so rad to see. So yeah, hats off to Demetrius for sure.
Did he say anything if he's going to come back? That's the big question. Will we see the Mighty Mouse, the GOAT, come back to ONE Championship, or is he going to be done?
We weren't talking too much on that topic. One thing that I can for sure tell you is that he is in love with gi jiu-jitsu, and it was really surprising to me, even to say he's like, I like watching your guys' no-gi matches. Don't get me wrong, but when you guys do gi, I definitely tune in. I was like, oh, it's super rad to hear. I thought that was really interesting because usually it's almost the other way around. Yeah, so he's definitely in love with jiu-jitsu. I think his kids got a big part of that. For sure. I think both of his kids train, right? So. about the MMA, I'm not entirely sure, but we're definitely going to see him competing more for sure.
Yeah, I think they were lining him up and Mikey, so maybe we'll see that. How do you think he'll fare against Mikey? I think this is all practice for that in some ways, perhaps.
Right, that's a wild matchup, man. And let me tell you, Mikey's a specialist at the leg locks. I think it'd be rad for him to do a little leg lock defense camp with us for that. If he was going to take that matchup. He's got amazing jiu-jitsu. I think a lot of people sleep on it. He's got great wrestling. He's definitely going to be on top in that match, and he's so athletic and acrobatic. He can make anything happen, really. So, in that matchup, as long as he doesn't get leg locked, I can see him doing really well.
All right. Well, hopefully we see it, but we know we're going to see you on Saturday. It's going to be huge. MMA debut against Blake Cooper. Guys, don't miss it. Final words?
Just fired up. Like you said, don't miss it, guys. Thank you for tuning in, and hopefully catch you guys there.